The air outside the lounge smelled like cheap cigarettes and last chances. I killed the engine, sat there for a second, just breathing. The lights from inside flickered through the windows, colors bleeding onto the sidewalk like a warning. Chris had texted me twice, "Get here a bit earlier, trust me." Yeah, trust. I shoved open the door without thinking, my boots hitting the pavement hard. Did not even button my jacket. Did not need to. I figured I was walking into a room full of people who loved me, who wanted to celebrate me. You thought I was worth something. I did not even make it past the hallway. There was a side entrance to the VIP section, a shortcut Chris had said. Use it, it'll make it cooler when you come in. So I did. One push and the door swung open. It was not music that hit me first. It was the raw, filthy sound of skin slapping against skin. The disgusting wet noises of two people who did not give a damn if anyone heard them. I stood there. Frozen. And there she was. Emily. Black dress shoved halfway up her hips, legs wrapped around a man who was not me. His hands all over her body like he was trying to memorize her. Her nails raking down his neck. Her head thrown back, mouth open, laughing, moaning, alive in a way I had not seen in months. My body did not move, but my mind detonated. Chris was standing off to the side, a plastic cup dangling from his fingers, face pale. Like he knew. Like he knew and had not stopped it. Someone dropped a glass. She shattered against the floor, sharp and violent, but no one looked away from the main event. Emily locked eyes with me mid-thrust. Her expression morphed from pleasure to horror in a heartbeat. She scrambled off the guy, some punk in a cheap jacket and a buzz cut, and stumbled, fixing her dress like modesty could save her now. I did not flinch. I did not yell. Instead, I started clapping. Slow. Heavy. Echoing through the stunned silence. What an absolutely breathtaking performance, I said, voice like ice. The M. You deserve an award. Maybe call it biggest F*** king disgrace of the year. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. Like a fish suffocating on dry land. Jason, wait. She croaked. The guy she was still trying to zip up mumbled something about not knowing she was married. I laughed. Short, brutal. Oh, do not worry, buddy. I said. She lies about a lot of things. You'll figure it out when she asks screwing your brother next. A ripple of horrified murmuring spread across the crowd. People started backing away like the betrayal might be contagious. And Emily, she did what she always did when cornered. She lied. Jason, it's not what it looks like, she said, stepping toward me with tears already forming crocodile tears, thick and practiced. It's exactly what it looks like. I barked, stepping back. But by all means entertain us. Tell me how he slipped and fell into you. She looked desperate. Furious. Humiliated. I think she was about to crack open and unleash whatever ugly poison had been festering inside her for months. And for one twisted, bitter moment, standing there watching her squirm, I realized something. I was not sad. I was not broken. I was free. And if she thought this was the end of it, she was dead wrong, because I had not come alone tonight. No, I had brought receipts. And the second I pulled out my phone, the whole damn night went nuclear. The second my thumb hovered over the screen, I saw it. The sheer panic ripple across Emily's face. She knew. She **king knew the lounge was dead silent, except for the muffled bass still leaking from the main room where the normal people were dancing oblivious to the war about to explode here. Half the guests were frozen in place. The other half were pretending to text or sip their drinks, pretending they were not hungry for the bloodbath. Everyone, I said, voice loud, carrying across the VIP section. Once we were apparently celebrating Betrayal tonight, I thought I'd share some party favors. I tapped the first video. The speakers in the room picked it up immediately. Chris had rigged it earlier, thinking it was going to be a sweet birthday montage. Instead, everyone saw Emily. Emily half naked. Emily crawling into a car with some guy who was not me, giggling, pulling her panties off. Emily sitting in a dingy motel room laughing while she popped open cheap champagne climbing onto another man's lap. Different men. Different nights. Different lies. The footage scrolled through automatically, a greatest hits album of her treachery, all beautifully time-stamped and documented. She screamed then. A high broken noise lunging for the sound system like she could somehow stop it. But Chris, bless him, intercepted her, grabbing her wrist with enough force to make her flinch. You owe him this, Chris growled at her, voice low and furious. You owe him everything. The guy she had been caught with looked like he was about to vomit. He actually stumbled back. He was up like he thought she might bite him if he stayed too close. Emily turned back to me. Tears streaming. Mascara painting her face into something monstrous. Jason, please, please, I can explain. She sobbed, voice cracking. I stared at her like she was nothing because she was explain. I said, raising my eyebrows. Explain why I found your burner phone hidden in your gym bag. Why there were text messages between you and half the guys in your office. Why my best friend spent the last 3 weeks gathering proof because even he could not watch you humiliate me anymore. Her mouth snapped shut so fast I swear I heard her teeth click. You read disgusting. I continued, every word cutting deeper. You read not a mistake. You're AF *** king disease. She broke then like glass under a hammer. You were not enough for me. She shrieked, all pretense of sadness gone, replaced by pure venom. You were boring, Jason, predictable. A goddamn doormat. The gasps that rolled through the crowd were almost physical. A wave of shock and revulsion. You read nothing. She screamed, voice cracking. Nothing without me. I smiled, the comma's coldest smile of my entire life. Then it's a good thing. I said, slowly savoring every syllable. Starting tonight, Yuri no longer my problem. Without another glance, I turned, walking through the stunned crowd, leaving her sobbing, raging, clawing at the ruins of her own lies. The best part, the divorce papers were already in my car. Signed, filed, all that was left was delivering them. And tonight I was feeling generous. I tossed the envelope onto the table next to her ruined party cake. A bright, stupid thing that said best husband ever in blue icing. As I walked away, I heard the distant sound of her howling, furious and alone. Trapped in the wreckage of everything she destroyed. And for the first time in months, I felt alive. I did not look back. Not even when I heard Emily's heels clattering after me. Not even when she started screaming my name like a banshee set on fire. The club's security. 2 burly guys in black polos were already moving in, exchanging quick glances like they did not get paid enough for this kind of circus. Chris caught up to me first, grabbing my shoulder. You good, man? He asked, voice low, urgent. I nodded once. Mechanical. There was no good tonight. There was just done. Behind me, Emily's voice hit a new, desperate pitch. She was not even pretending to cry anymore. She was raging now. The real Emily, stripped down, no more cute lies or fake apologies. You think you read better than me, Jason? She screamed across the lounge. You think you read some perfect F*** king angel? People parted like the Red Sea as I walked through. Most of them staring at her like she was radioactive. I barely even registered them. My heart was a black hole, sucking in every shred of pain, anger, betrayal, crushing it down into pure ice. Then she said it. The thing that made even me stop dead in my tracks. You read nothing without me. Emily shrieked. You were a loser when I met you. And you'll be a loser when I leave you. The words hung in the air, thick and poisonous. Even the music from the main room seemed to fade out for a second. Like the universe itself needed a moment to absorb the pure nastiness she had just unleashed. I turned slowly. The whole room was silent again, watching, holding its collective breath. You done? I asked. Voice calm. Steady. Got anything else you want the whole world to hear before you crawl back under whatever rock you came from? She glared at me, breathing hard. Mascara dripping down her face like black blood. Then she laughed. A cold, brittle sound that made my skin crawl. You'll come crawling back. she said, pointing a shaking finger at me. You always do. You weak. You see not survive without someone telling you what to do. I smiled again. But this time there was something dangerous underneath it. You right? I said, taking a step closer. I used to be weak. That's how you got your hooks into me in the first place. Another step. But now. I whispered just loud enough for her and everyone else to hear. Now I'm strong enough to watch you burn without lifting a finger. She tried to slap me. Dead serious. She wound up. Teeth bared like a feral animal. But I caught her wrist mid-swing. Effortless. I did not even flinch. The security guards were already moving in fast now, muttering into radios. Chris moved to stand between us. Face dark with fury. You done, Emily. Chris said, voice hard as concrete. You done embarrassing yourself. Get out. She yanked her arm out of my grip. Stumbled back. Chest heaving. You'll regret this. She screamed. Voice cracking in half. You'll beg me to come back. I shook my head slowly like I was looking at something pitiful. Something already dead and rotting. I'd rather set myself on fire. And with that I turned and walked out of the lounge, out of that nightmare, out of that whole goddamn chapter of my life without looking back even once. Behind me, the doors slammed shut. The cold night air hit me like a baptism. I sucked in a deep breath. And for the first time in what felt like years, I was not carrying her anymore. I was finally free. Or so I thought. Because as I would find out less than 24 hours later, Emily was not done wrecking sh*t. Not even close. The night air was sharp, almost slicing through the heat still burning inside my chest. Chris caught up to me on the sidewalk, shoving a jacket into my hands. Here, he muttered. Yuri shaking. I had not even realized it. My hands were trembling so badly the car keys almost slipped right out of my grip. I'm fine. I lied. Voice flat. Robotic. Chris did not argue. He just stuck close to me like a bodyguard while I skulked toward my car. But just as I hit the unlock button, my phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. Blocked number. I frowned. Ignored it. Got into the car. Slammed the door. Buzz. 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 Emily answered more out of annoyance than curiosity. The second I put it to my ear, a shrill, venom-soaked voice exploded through the speaker. You think you can humiliate me like that and just walk away? Emily. Of course it was F***King, Emily. You think you're some big man now, she screeched. You think anyone else gonna want you after tonight? Newsflash, Jason, you're a joke. I hung up without a word. 5 seconds later, another call. And another. And another. Blocked number over and over like she thought she could beat me into submission with pure noise. Chris leaned into the window. Want me to take her phone and shove it somewhere creative? I laughed bitterly. Nah. Let her scream. It's all she's got left. Or so I thought. Because Emily, being the vindictive little snake she was, had one more move up her sleeve and it was nastier than anything I could have guessed. I crashed on Chris's couch that night. Could not face the hollow quiet of my own place yet. Every shadow in that apartment would have looked like her. When I finally dragged myself awake around noon the next day, it was to the sound of Chris yelling from the kitchen. Jason, get your ass in here. Now I stumbled and still half asleep and saw him standing over the kitchen island holding his laptop like it had personally betrayed him. Look at this. He growled, shoving the screen toward me. I blinked. Then blinked again. There it was. A Facebook post from Emily's profile. And at the top for maximum visibility. Last night, after a long struggle in an abusive marriage, I finally stood up for myself. If you ever wonder why a woman cheats, maybe ask yourself what hell she was living in first. #survivor #truth matters. Hundreds, no thousands of likes. Comments pouring in. You're so brave, Emily. Stay strong, queen. Men like that deserve nothing. I felt my stomach drop straight through the floor. She had flipped the script. Found herself from the villain into the goddamn victim. And people, blind, stupid, naive people, were eating it up like candy. Chris looked like he wanted to put his fist through the wall. She's setting you up, man. Making you look like some psycho abuser. I stared at the screen, heart pounding so loud it hurt. This was not just lies. This was not just drama. This was nuclear. Because if enough people believed her, if she pushed this narrative hard enough, she could wreck my job, my reputation, my whole goddamn life. I could not let that happen. Not after everything she had already stolen from me. No. If Emily wanted war, she was going to get it. And this time? I was not playing nice that I did not waste a second. While Chris was pacing like a caged animal behind me, I yanked my phone out and started scrolling through the evidence folder I had compiled, the texts, the burner phone screenshots, the videos, the timestamps. Even receipts from hotels she thought no one would ever know about. It was all there. Neat. Organized. Undeniable. For a moment, a bitter thought crossed my mind. I never organized anything this well in our marriage. Maybe that's why she thought she could have **K around and not get caught. She's not going to stop, Chris said, voice sharp cutting through my head. She's building a narrative. If you do not hit back now, she's going to own the whole damn story. He was right. Emily was not just trying to save her own skin. She was trying to obliterate mine. This was not love gone wrong. This was war. And I was not about to lose it. I logged into my own social media accounts. I had not touched in months, started crafting my own posts, not angry, not messy, surgical, precise, lethal. I wrote, since my soon-to-be ex-wife decided to publicly rewrite history. I think it's only fair. I set the record straight, attached our screenshots, videos and official documents detailing her ongoing affairs with multiple partners over the course of our marriage. I never laid a hand on Emily. The only thing I ever hurt was my own damn heart by trusting her to anyone who wants the truth. It's right here to those who prefer lies. You can stay on her side either way. I'm done being silent. And then, without overthinking it, I attached the files, all of them unedited, unapologetic, one-click post. Chris let out a low whistle behind me. Holy **T man. You just napalmed her, and it felt good. Better than good, for the first time since that lounge nightmare. I felt like I was standing up straight again. At first, nothing happened. 5 minutes of silence. 10. Then the notifications started. A trickle. Then a flood. Messages. Comments. People tagging her, demanding answers. Within an hour, her supporters had started turning on her viciously. Girls she worked with. People from our neighborhood. Hell, even her own goddamn cousin commented. I knew something was off about you. Jason deserved better. And just when I thought I could not get any better, Chris's phone buzzed. He picked up, listened for a second, and then burst out laughing so hard he doubled over. He put it on speaker. It was Emily's boss. Apparently someone from her job had seen the evidence and forwarded it straight to HR. Adultery with clients. Lying about her marital status on official documents. Inappropriate conduct at work events. She was not just about to lose her marriage. She was about to lose her **King job. I leaned back on Chris's couch, staring at the ceiling, feeling something dangerous and dark curling inside me. Not joy. Not satisfaction. Just cold, brutal closure. Emily had set the rules of this war. All I did was play by them better. But because life's a cruel bastard sometimes, the peace did not last long. Because a few hours later there was a knock at Chris's door. Hard. Insistent. Like someone was not asking, they were demanding. Chris and I exchanged a look. We moved first, grabbing a bat from behind the door, an old habit from when we lived in rougher neighborhoods. He cracked the door open 2 inches and immediately cursed under his breath. Jason. It's her. My get twisted. Of course it was. Because Emily, even now humiliated, exposed, ruined, was not done. No. She was about to do something so insane, so reckless, so vile, that even I, after everything, could not believe it. Chris yanked the door open wider, bat raised, ready for a scene. What we got was even worse than either of us could have guessed. Emily stood there barefoot, hair wild, makeup smeared in ugly streaks down her face, like some kind of horror movie version of the woman I used to love. In one hand she clutched a wrinkled piece of paper. In the other, a bottle of vodka, half empty, her fingers wide knuckling the neck. "Jason," she screamed, voice already cracking. "Jason, you see not do this to me. You see not EFF*** King ruin my life." Chris stepped in front of me instinctively. I could not move. Because if he had not, I might have said or done something I could not walk back from. Emily pushed past him like he was not even there, stumbling into the living room. "You think you re some EFF** King hero now?" She spat vodka sloshing out of the bottle onto the carpet. "You think posting your little pity party online makes you better than me?" I said nothing. Did not move. Just watched her, a woman unraveling, coming apart at the seams in real time. She waved the paper in my face. "You want to play games? Jason? Fine," she shrieked. "Here's my move." I finally focused on what she was holding. It was a restraining order. Filed that morning. Claiming that I was violent. Dangerous. A threat to her safety. My blood ran ice cold. This was not just petty drama anymore. This was legal. This was the kind of *T that could follow me forever if she managed to pull it off. "You re insane," Chris muttered under his breath, stepping between us again. But Emily was not even looking at him. She was locked on me like a predator. "You either delete everything you posted," she snarled, "or I take this to the cops. Say you threatened me. Say you hit me." Her smile then was something out of a nightmare. "And guess what, Jason," she said, voice dropping to a whisper. "They'll believe me. They always believe the crying woman." For a second, the room tilted. My heart thudded painfully against my ribs. Because she was not bluffing. Not even a little bit. She had planned this. Calculated it. She asked me to swing first, then set the trap. One false move and I'd be in handcuffs by sunset. But Emily forgot something critical. She was not the only one who came prepared. Chris, bless his paranoid, conspiracy-loving soul, had security cameras installed all over his apartment. Audio, video, timestamped. Every word she had just screamed, every drunken threat, every attempt at blackmail, all recorded. Crystal clear. Chris did not even hesitate. He pointed at the small blinking red light tucked into the bookshelf. "You might want to smile for the camera." He said coolly, "You're about to go viral again." For the first time that night, real fear flickered across Emily's face. She stumbled back, realizing too late that she had just walked into her own trap. No edits. No manipulations. Just her in all her drunken, vicious glory. I stood up slowly, feeling strangely calm. "You redone," I said, "not just with me. With everything. Job. You see not do this." She shrieked. "Oh, but you did it to yourself," Chris said, crossing his arms. Without another word, Emily turned and bolted out the door. Barefoot, bottle still clutched in her hand, nearly slipping on the wet pavement outside. Chris shut the door behind her with a heavy final thud. And for a moment there was silence. Then he turned to me, face grim. But satisfied. "You're free, man," he said. "I say I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." "You're free, man," he said. Finally. But I did not feel free. Not yet. Because people like Emily, they do not just disappear. They come back. They lash out harder when they read desperate. And sure enough, 2 days later, I got a letter in the mail. From her lawyer. Demanding half my assets. Demanding alimony. Demanding the world after she had already burned mine to the ground. The real fight was just beginning. 2 days after the vodka-stained showdown at Chris S. place, the official envelope landed in my mailbox like a slap across the face. Inside, a lawyer's letter, typed in stiff, smug legalese. Emily was demanding half of everything. The apartment I bought before I even met her. My car. My savings. Alimony for emotional distress she claimed I had caused. It would have been funny if it did not make me want to put my fist through the drywall. Chris was pacing the living room when I threw the letter onto the table. "She's got some balls," he muttered. "No," I said coldly. "She's got nothing left to lose. And that's the most dangerous kind of person." But what Emily did not realize was this. When you push a man who has already lost everything, you not pushing him into fear. You pushing him into war. I called my lawyer Mark that afternoon. Older guy, ex-military, built like a truck and about as subtle as a sledgehammer to the teeth. I did not even have to explain everything. I just sent him the files. The videos. The texts. The burner phone evidence. The recording from Chris S. apartment. He called me back 20 minutes later, chuckling like a man who had just been handed a golden ticket. "Son," he said, "we gonna bury her." And so we did. Court was not a grand spectacle like in movies. It was colder. Sharper. More brutal because of how clean everything was. No shouting matches. No dramatic crying on the stand. Just cold, hard facts. Emily showed up the first day dressed like some King Hallmark movie widow, black dress, hair pulled back tight, fake tears glistening already before the judge even called her name. Her lawyer, some sleazy bottom feeder named Todd Hensley, leaned in hard on the poor abused wife angle. She endured years of emotional neglect. He droned. She was isolated, financially dependent, afraid. Blah blah blah. I did not react. Did not blink. When it was our turn, Mark stood up slow and deliberate like a man who already knew he had won. And then he unloaded everything. The burner phone logs. The videos of her at the lounge. The motel receipts. The group chats where she bragged about milking her loser husband dry before bouncing. The courtroom was silent, thick with tension as exhibit after exhibit popped up on the screen. Emily's face went from smug to confused to utterly shattered in the span of 10 minutes. The judge, a no-nonsense woman named Judge Keller, leaned forward, tapping her pen against the desk. "Mrs. Walker," she said, voice calm but deadly, "do you have any explanation for this mountain of evidence contradicting your claims?" Emily stammered, started crying, tried to blame me for driving her into the arms of others. Judge Keller was not having it. "Adultery is grounds for denial of spousal support under the state statutes," she said crisply. "You will not be receiving alimony." Emily's mouth fell open like she had just been shot. And regarding marital assets, the judge continued flipping through papers. "Given the overwhelming evidence of infidelity and misconduct, the court sees no reason why Mr. Walker should forfeit any of his premarital holdings. In other words, she got nothing, no apartment, no car, no money. She walked into that courtroom expecting a payday. She walked out with exactly what she deserved. Nothing but the clothes on her back. And even those looked cheap. Outside the courthouse, she tried one last time. As I was walking to my car, she came running up behind me, heels clicking frantically on the concrete. "Jason, wait," she gasped, grabbing my arm. "Please, I did not mean it." I was confused. I was scared. I turned slowly, looked at her, really looked at her for the first time in weeks. And I saw it. The hollow space behind her eyes. The black hole where a soul should have been. "No, Emily," I said, voice flat final. "You meant every King's second of it. You just did not think you'd ever get caught." She opened her mouth again, but I cut her off. "I hope you think about this moment every time you sit alone in some *TTY apartment, wondering why nobody trusts you. I hope it eats you alive." Her face crumpled. But I did not stay to watch. I got in my car, closed the door. And this time when I drove away, I did not feel broken. I did not feel bitter. I felt free, really, truly, finally free. But the story does not end there. Because Emily was not done ruining her own life yet. And soon she'd do something even worse. Not to me. To herself. Weeks passed. At first, there was silence. No calls. No texts. No late-night drunken knocks on the door. It was almost eerie, like the eye of the storm after everything she'd unleashed. But deep down, I knew Emily was not the type to vanish quietly. Not her. Not the woman who could set her own life on fire just to watch someone else choke on the smoke. Chris kept sending me updates, little things he heard through the grapevine. Because Emily apparently could not keep her meltdown private. First came the job loss. Her company, after reviewing the evidence, had canned her with a humiliating, for-cause termination. No severance. No glowing recommendation letter. Just a black mark on her resume big enough to be seen from orbit. Then came the eviction. Turns out, without a paycheck and without my financial support, Emily could not keep up her little fantasy life. The upscale apartment she had moved into, probably hoping to reel in another sucker fast, kicked her to the curb after 2 missed rent payments. Chris even drove by one day because he's a sick bastard like that. Said he saw her tossing trash bags full of clothes into the back seat of some battered old Civic. She looked like SH*T man, Chris said, not even trying to hide the satisfaction in his voice. Like a stray dog after a hurricane. Part of me thought it would feel sweeter than it did. Watching her life crumble. Watching karma pick up a baseball bat and go to work. And it did feel good. But it was not the firework explosion of victory I had imagined. It was quieter. Colder. Like watching a bad movie finally, mercifully reach the end credits. And then she made her final move. I got a text from an unknown number late one night, 2:13 a.m. Normally, I would have ignored it. But something made me open it. It was a single picture. Emily sitting on a filthy bathroom floor somewhere God knows where. Eyes glassy. Makeup's mirrored. Holding a bottle of pills in one hand and a bottle of cheap whiskey in the other. Below the photo, just one message. I hope you're happy. For a moment my heart stopped. Not because I cared. Not because I missed her. But because even after everything, after every lie, every betrayal, every dirty move, she was still trying to weaponize guilt against me. Still trying to make her destruction my responsibility. Chris saw my face when he walked into the room. What he asked concerned. I handed him the phone without a word. He stared at it for a second, then tossed it onto the coffee table with a disgusted snort. Do not even think about it, man, he said. That's not your mess to clean up anymore. And he was right. So I did not reply. Did not call. Did not chase her. If she was really in danger, she could call an ambulance herself. If it was another one of her manipulative games, she could rot alone in whatever hell she'd built for herself. Either way, it was no longer my problem. I blocked the number, deleted the photo, poured myself a whiskey, sat back and stared out the window at the city lights. And for the first time in what felt like 1,000 F***king years, I felt weightless. Like someone had finally cut the last frayed rope around my throat. Emily had tried everything to destroy me, but all she managed to do was destroy herself. And somehow that was the perfect ending. Some scars do not heal. Some betrayals never fully leave you. But if you're lucky, if you fight hard enough, you can survive them. You can come out the other side harder, smarter, and most importantly free. Emily thought she was punishing me by leaving. The truth was it was the greatest gift she ever gave me. The weeks turned into months. Life did not explode into some Hollywood-style celebration. There was not some perfect rebound girl waiting in the wings. There were no magical sunrises where everything suddenly made sense. It was slower than that. More brutal. More honest. Healing was not some glorious moment of realization. It was waking up one day and realizing I had not thought about her for 3 hours. Then 4. Then a whole damn afternoon. It was realizing that I could walk past the restaurant we used to go to and not feel like vomiting. It was driving past her old office without imagining her in some stranger's car laughing while she undid her top. It was surviving. One ugly, bloody step at a time. I started hitting the gym again, not because I wanted to win the breakup or whatever stupid sh*t people say, but because there was rage inside me that needed somewhere to go. Some mornings I threw plates across the room. Some nights I drank too much and called Chris just to sit on the phone in silence. But through it all, there was the steady, undeniable truth. I was still standing. She had not broken me. She had not even come close. The thing about betrayal, real betrayal, the kind that strips you down to your bones, is that it either kills you or forges you into something harder than steel. Emily thought she was playing chess while I was playing checkers. But what she did not understand, what people like her never understand, is that loyalty is not weakness. Kindness is not stupidity. Love is not blindness. It has strength. And when you betray a man who loved you purely, deeply without reservation, you do not just lose him. You awaken something inside him that you'll never be able to kill. Something stronger. Something colder. Something unstoppable. I still see her name sometimes. Someone tagging her in a post she'll never answer. Someone sharing a story about that crazy girl who used to work in HR. Her life is a wreck now. She couch surfs. She burns bridges faster than she can build them. Her name, once spotless, once whispered in admiration, is now followed by pity, by warning. Stay away from her. She has bad news. You do not want that mess in your life. I do not celebrate it. I do not toast to her downfall. But sometimes on the really dark nights when the old wounds itch and the rage tries to claw its way back out, I let myself smile a little. Because the truth is simple. Emily did not just lose a husband that night at the lounge. She lost the only person who would have loved her through anything. The only person who ever saw the broken pieces and said, "I'll stay." And when she destroyed that, she destroyed herself. Good riddance. Some nights I sit on the porch with a drink in my hand, watching the sky turn black and thinking about everything that happened. I do not wish her pain. I do not wish her happiness either. I wish her nothing. Oblivion. Because that's what she earned. And me? I earned my freedom. My peace. My future. Not because I was perfect. Not because I was some kind of saint. But because I fought for myself when it mattered. Because when everything burned to asha, I chose to rise. If you've made it this far reading all this twisted sh*t. First of all, thanks for sticking with me. Second of all, I owe you something more than just the blow-by-blow wreckage of a dead marriage. I owe you the truth. The real truth. Betrayal changes you. Not in the way movies or therapy blogs try to dress it up. Not in some neat little, "what does not kill you makes you stronger" slogan. It changes you the way fire changes metal. It strips you down, burns away the softness, leaves only the bare bones of who you really are. You find out what you're made of. You find out what you can survive. You find out how deep your anger goes. And how much of it you're willing to carry before it poisons you worse than the betrayal ever did. I'm not the same man who walked into that lounge that night expecting balloons and cheap cake. That man died the second he saw the woman he loved treating his heart like a disposable toy. The man who came out the other side. He is harder, colder, sharper, but he is also free. And that's the thing they do not tell you about surviving betrayal. Freedom does not feel like fireworks. It feels like silence. Like peace. Like waking up one morning and realizing you do not hate them anymore. Because you genuinely do not give a single F*** k if they live or die. Advice for anyone reading this who has been through it or is going through it now. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it is. Do not gaslight yourself because you love someone. Save the evidence. You not paranoid. You protecting yourself. Loyalty without self-respect is suicide. Do not play their game. Do not scream. Do not beg. Do not try to out-crazy a crazy person. Be cold. Be smart. Be surgical. Fight back. But fight clean. Let the truth be your weapon. No need to stoop to their level. They're already digging their own grave. Heal yourself. Not for revenge. Not to show them what they lost. Do it because you deserve better than dragging their ghost around inside your chest for the rest of your life. Forgiveness is overrated. You do not have to forgive them to move on. You just have to forget they were ever important enough to hurt you. Sometimes I wonder if Emily thinks about me. If she scrolls through her wrecked social media accounts, drunk and bitter, remembering how she used to have someone who would have died for her. Maybe she does. Maybe she does not. I do not care because she is not part of my story anymore. She is just a footnote. A burned page in a book I've already finished reading. And as for me, I'm not just surviving. I'm thriving. I'm building a life so if **King good that she would not even recognize the man I'd become if she saw me today. And that is the best revenge of all.